Captain Kujo here, and today I was going to show you how to tie up some shrimp flies. When I'm diving and at the end of the day or waiting for other divers to come up, you jig some these flies and catch rockfish and lingcod and a lot of bottom fish. So some of my friends asked me how to tie these up because they see me catching 3 fish at a time and 2 poles, and you pretty much limit out. So this is a shrimp fly. I'm going to show you how to make these out of some common items, and you can use 3 of them, and basically this is what they're going to look like when you put a weight on the bottom on a little snap swivel. So we'll just simulate the weight, and you jig this. They don't catch on themselves, and this is what it looks like on the bottom, and of course drives those sea bass and lingcod crazy. And basically the lines never tangle up, and they do a great job of teasing fish. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do here is I'm going to show you the items that you need, because this is really cheap. First, I have this re-webbing kit. It's polypropylene webbing that you use for repairing lawn chairs. It comes from a company, lawnchairusa.com, and you can buy it in whatever colors. You can see I have some gray here that I haven't opened, but I have some yellow and white, and I have some red, white, and blue. It comes in 50-foot rolls. It's about $10, so I mean you can do a lot of them. Went to Walmart and got some yarn for maybe $1 a roll. I got 3 different colors here, some pink, some red, and some white. And then I had a couple of fly tying thread feeders. I'm going to use I can use bobbin thread, any kind of thread. It's not special thread at all, just any thread. And the hooks. Hooks are kind of important. These are Mustad, they're called a Kirby hook, and what makes these unique is that this is a number 7 hook, but it has a big eye in the back. You've got to have a hook with a big eye. That's very important. So let's get started. You'll need also a vise, maybe a pair of scissors, and you'll need to tie yourself up some kind of a loop. You can see this is just polypropylene line tied in a loop, and I'll show you what that's used for, but it's just a simple overhand knot there, so I have a loop. I like to use a little bit of nail polish or top coat because it's cheap, and you can buy it at Walmart or any store, Rite Aid, that has nail products. It's just a quick drying top coat. And scissors. You need a couple pair of scissors. So first thing I do is I cut pieces of webbing, because I'm going to use all these colors: the red, the white, the blue, the yellow, and the white. I measure out about 7 inches. This is a little longer than 7 inches, so let me just cut this down to about 7 inches. And this one's about the same size. Yep. Then what makes this stuff kind of amazing is you just cut it down the middle. And we'll just set this to the side, and I'm going to cut the red, white, and blue down the middle. Okay, next I'm going to take my Mustad hook, put it in the vise so that the eye is facing me and it's nice and tight so I can work. Then I'm going to take my thread and just give it a few wraps. And once I get a few wraps, I'm just going to do a couple of half hitches over the top of it to hold it in place. And then I'm going to just set that line down like this. It's still on my spooler. Then this is the amazing thing. I'm going to take my webbing here, and once you slice in the middle, the end won't do anything, but where you cut it, look at that. Comes right off. So I've got yellow. I'm going to use a little bit of white. And maybe I'll throw just a couple of shreds of red in there. Okay, then I like to just trim the ends, so now they're all in a nice little wad there, and then I'm going to feed those through the eye of the hook. That's pretty much all of them, and then get them even, and then run those down the back side of the hook like this. Then I'm going to take my thread again and continue to wind my thread around the already and again, now that I've finished that, I'm just going to throw a couple of half hitches over the top to lock it down. Then I can trim this off, done with the thread. And to hold that thread down, I like to just put a little bit of top coat on it. And then next, I have my loop here. And let's use the hot pink thread here. I'm going to cut just a length of thread, maybe 8-10 inches. Then I'm going to use my polypropylene loop and just lay it on top of the thread and just start winding this, not too tight. And then I'm going to take it and put it through the loop like this, and then pull the end of the loop, and as you can see, it pulls the thread up underneath like that, and now my thread's on there pretty well. I'm going to cut that right at the end. Little top coat. I'm going to take my shrimp fly here, get all the hairs nice and even. As you can see, it's kind of uneven. I'm just going to trim it off, and we have a shrimp fly. You can put scent on here like sardine oil or herring oil or something like that, and it will hold scent for a while because it's yarn. And we have a shrimp fly. Now you can look online and also find out how to tie a dropper loop. I'm not going to do that right here because it takes a little bit of time to do one, but let me just show you a dropper loop. I've got some 50-pound test here. And on one end I would tie a snap swivel that I can put a weight on, and then I would start tying my loops wherever I thought I wanted to have them. I like to use a very light snap swivel so that if I snag on the bottom, I will be able to break the weight off without losing my shrimp flies. So right now I'm not really doing anything. I've just taken the line and made an overhand loop here. And I want to make sure that my loop is going to be big enough to accommodate my hook. So you can see there's nothing here, just a little loop. And then I'm going to pinch down both ends of that loop here and then wind the loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then take this bottom part and bring it up through the loop. And pull it tight, and I have a dropper loop on a line. Then I could move up here again and do the same loop up here, far enough away, however long I wanted that my leader. And I'll just do 2 for the sake of showing you how it's done here. That's about far enough there. They're going to be kind of close. Don't want them too far apart. And then I'm going to wrap these again. 3, 4, 5. And then bring the loop up through the middle. So now I have 2 dropper loops on a line. Okay? Then we're going to just take the fly and take the end of that dropper loop, put it through the end of the fly's hook there, and just run it over itself. Get all the lawn chair webbing through the hook. There we go. And then just pull it tight. And there's one. And then I'm going to take the other one and do the same thing. Take my dropper loop, run it through the rest of the eye, run the hook through it, pull it tight, and now I have a, depending on where I want my weight, and you can use 3, but you can see as you jig that with the weight on it, they move and they never wrap on the line. This is the shrimp fly by Captain Kujo. Very easy. I learned this from a good friend of mine, Beto Eggs, on a website. Roy is the master of using household products to make some of the finest fishing equipment you can find.